McKenna is a man with a mission. He's out to prove there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Often employing new and controversial techniques, Paul believes that the mind has a limitless capacity to reprogram itself. In short, he believes he can change your life.
You've got to reprogram your mind.
Childbirth thought to be the most painful experience a woman can go through. So can Paul help Michelle achieve her dream of a painless birth without resorting to drugs?
I don't ever want to experience anything like it ever again.
He meets Helen, who suffers from a dangerous lifelong compulsion to pull out and eat her own hair.
You just had a major breakthrough, by the way.
And Kerry, a former prize-winning horse rider who, following a trauma, can no longer jump.
She sat me on the horse and said, I'll pay you £1 million to do it. I wouldn't do it.
My mission is to help people change their lives for the better. I believe that everybody's got more potential than they're using, but the power to change is within each individual. All I do is help people tap into that.
They say the definition of amnesia is a woman with a second baby. Who'd want to go through that pain twice? Not Michelle. Michelle and her partner Michael already have one daughter, Charlie. Michelle's about to give birth to her second child. This time she wants it pain and drug-free.
If I can possibly get through it without putting drugs into my body, then I will do.
Charlie was born 9 years ago.
Charlie is quite a handful.
I'm not.
She doesn't stop talking.
I do. I've stopped.
But she's actually also very, very good, very entertaining. Fun to have around.
Let's dancing.
I honestly didn't think that being a parent would be as rewarding as this.
Although Michelle adores Charlie, the principal memory she has of her birth is pain, heaps of pain.
I don't remember how far away from the birth I was when the pain really became unbearable, and I was desperate for something else, and was then given Pethidine because it was too late for the epidural.
The thing she says about the first birth is it hurt a lot.
Childbirth in general is, I've heard it's the worst thing you can possibly experience, and having experienced it, I hope it's true, because I don't ever want to experience anything like it ever again, really. And you know there's no way out, and the only way out is to carry on through it. Is just awful.
Michelle was faced with a dilemma. She hated the pain of childbirth, but also disliked the drugs.
I did know I wanted to avoid an epidural if possible, so I had a TENS machine. I also had Pethidine and gas and air. So yeah, I didn't want to be taking drugs. Although I remember seeing her when she came out, I don't remember those minutes afterwards. I don't remember if I cried. I can remember seeing her, but that's about it. I don't know whether that was just the shock of the pain and the pain just suddenly being over, or whether it was the Pethidine that did it. I really don't know. But it would be nice to have been able to remember that first moment a bit better. It's definitely worth it. Best thing ever. I just miss her dreadfully when I'm not with her. When she's with me, she drives me nuts, but when I'm not with her, I miss her very much.
And now at 8 months pregnant, Michelle's fearful again.
I'm expecting another baby just like me.
But the responsibility of having another child is not the fear, it's going through childbirth again.
For the second birth now, I think I know what to expect more. I know that the pain's going to be incredibly bad.
She's one of these people that really only take like headache pills if it goes for ages. She's got major headaches, and then you'd have to go, look, just take a headache pill.
So Michelle's decided on an alternative method. Paul.
The reason she wants to hypnobirth is I think she'd like to get away from like the drugs aspect of it.
I'm hoping Paul will be able to mask the pain for me, or at least deaden it slightly, so that I'm able to get through the labour calmly.
One thing Paul can't do is determine whether it's a boy or a girl.
I think I'm going to have a boy.
I'd like Mummy to have a girl.
I'm looking at that 3D scan, it looks like a boy. So, obviously, we hope it is a boy. Otherwise, it's going to be a girl that looks like a boy.
Yeah, it's exciting. I'm looking forward to meeting him or her.
With the baby's birth imminent, Michelle travels to London to meet Paul.
The perception of pain takes place in the mind. So messages travel from various parts of the body to tell us we need to pay attention to something. And we can switch those messages off with a chemical anesthetic, but we can also do it psychologically as well. Now, in addition to that, when we're not feeling pain, we've got less stress, so there's less tension. There's less tension, there's going to be less pain. It's a self-reinforcing loop. Today, I'm going to teach Michelle how she can reduce pain using psychological techniques. And as a result of that, hopefully, she will not have to use chemical anesthetics when she comes to give birth. I'm going to teach Michelle self-hypnosis techniques so she can control pain herself without me having to be there. It's very simple. It's give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish, he eats for life. How are you doing today?
Fine, thank you.
How long to go?
3 weeks.
Excellent.
3 weeks.
Paul starts by showing Michelle the current sensitivity of her hand.
Okay, so I'd like you to take your nail and just push it into your thumb on one of your hands. There we go. Push it in hard, and that hurts, right?
Yeah.
Now, what we're going to do is we're going to numb that up.
By Paul getting Michelle to numb her thumb, he's teaching her the first steps of putting her body into a trance.
Imagine your hand getting colder and colder, number and number, just as the air around your thumb. In fact, you can light it up with a different colour. You could make it blue or whatever colour represents numb.
Over the next few minutes, Paul asks Michelle to slowly reduce the sensitivity of her thumb from 100% to 10%.
What I'd like you to do is open your eyes. It's going to stay numb for 2 minutes. So take your finger and put it into the side of your hand. What's the difference?
Do you know, if anything, it's more in the finger rather than the thumb, to be honest, but it's still not painful.
Oh, okay,
it doesn't
stop.
sting.
Yeah, of course, you've got greater sensitivity in your fingers. We haven't numbed that. All we've numbed is your thumb. How's your thumb actually? It does feel different, doesn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's my thumb.
Yeah, very good.
It feels bigger.
If you can numb your thumb,
Yeah.
you can numb 2 fingers, 3 fingers, 5, you can numb your whole hand. In fact, you could numb a whole area of your body. But what I want to do now is I want to extend it to the whole of your hand. And you're going to tell yourself, my whole hand gets numb like a piece of meat. Particularly, I want this bit here to get very numb. Right? This, by the way, is a great acupuncture point for releasing stress. So when we stick the needle in there, by the way.
Paul now asks Michelle to imagine her most relaxing moment ever, whilst also numbing her hand.
There you are. Put yourself on your lilo in Mallorca now. See what you saw, hear what you heard. Make myself and this room less important as you concentrate on being on that lilo in Mallorca. I want to ask your unconscious mind to make your hand numb. In fact, I want you to do it. Go, I want to make my hand go completely numb.
Yeah.
Okay, so tiny needle. Take that. I'd like you to put it in your hand there. Can you feel any pain?
No.
Take your hand away.
I can feel... No.
So you can't feel any pain?
I can feel that it's there, but I can't feel any pain at all.
Fantastic. So you can do pain control, I've no doubt. Yeah?
Right.
You know it's in your hand.
Yeah, I mean, I can't feel it now. As it was going in, I could feel it going in, but it...
It doesn't hurt.
No.
Okay. So I'd like you to pull it out.
Okay.
Fantastic. So if you can numb up your whole hand and stick a needle in it like that, you can numb up any part of yourself. So anything that you could achieve with pethidine, you could do yourself inside your head. So there's no need for you to have that or an epidural because, in fact, you might even be able to do it better than you could with a chemical anesthetic. Yeah?
To finish the treatment, Paul reinforces his reprogramming with a session of hypnotism.
That's right. Imagine the process of numbing yourself in the areas you need to happening easily. 5, feeling refreshed. 4, 3, 2, 1, no, wide awake. Woo, how do you feel?
I feel fine. I feel great, actually.
Yeah, good, fantastic. I think you'd be surprised by how little pain there is. But also, it's more the whole smoothness. So like, yeah, let's just do it. Yeah, but when you think about it now, what's the difference?
I'm excited now to try it. I'm excited to see if it works. I was amazed. It was brilliant. It was really weird not being able to feel my hand, not being able to feel the needle go into my hand. But it was really good. It was really good. I'm really quite excited now, and I just want to go into labour to see if it works.
One of the reasons that we rehearsed the birth in a relaxed state of mind again and again and again is so that when she comes to give birth, which will almost certainly be a frantic situation, her mind and body will automatically go into a more relaxed neurophysiological state. So we've rehearsed the state ahead of time that we need to have happen.
It's been 2 weeks since Michelle saw Paul, and she remains upbeat.
After seeing Paul, I suddenly felt completely excited about labour, couldn't wait for it to happen. And I still feel like that, but it's difficult. It gave me exercises to do, but because it's all very internal, I'm finding it difficult to know whether or not I am actually numbing the areas that I should be numbing, and it's far more difficult to tell. But fingers crossed it'll work. I think I may have numbed out some Braxton Hicks the other day. At first I was obviously wondering if it was labour, but it wasn't. I just imagined that I was back on my lilo, as I had done with Paul, and imagined bubble wrap going around my abdomen, which is the sort of thing I'd done with my hand with Paul, and imagined that bubble wrap was actually taking away the pain. And it did. The pain did go, and it took a while. It subsided first and just got less and less, but eventually it went. So fingers crossed I'll be able to do it in labour.
Michelle's due date comes and goes. Paul has been called away for business in Los Angeles. Although he won't be at the birth in person, they have prepared for this scenario. Late Saturday night, Michelle's waters break.
I came in convinced I'd be sent straight back home again, but then they found out that the baby's actually done a poo, so it needs to come out. So they've had to induce the labour, so no going home. So just had the first few contractions, so it's all just starting now. Exciting stuff.
Coming up, Paul's methods will be tested to the limit when Michelle is induced, giving her body no time to prepare for the pain.
So I understand the midwife has spoken to you and she said it's going to be a painful birth. Is that what she said to you?
And will Helen finally confront the compulsion which she's hidden all her life?
I think they assumed that it was like alopecia maybe or something and it was falling out. You know, I didn't say, no, I'm pulling it out. Wow.
Because Michelle's being induced, the onset of labour is faster and so is the pain. The midwife has warned Michelle it could be severe, so it's essential she employs all of Paul's techniques. To guide her through, he calls her from Los Angeles.
Hi Michelle, how are you doing?
Okay, not too bad.
So I understand the midwife has spoken to you and she said it's going to be a painful birth. Is that what she said to you?
Yeah, I've been told that it's likely to be more painful than it would be normally, yeah.
Right, she's a well-intentioned person, but that is not a helpful suggestion to have given you. And the reason she believes that is because you're not having a chemical anaesthetic, which is what she would ordinarily use. She doesn't know that we've been doing psychological training to teach you to anaesthetise yourself. So I want you to remember her saying it's going to be a painful birth. And I want you to make it sound like Mickey Mouse. So do it now. Make it sound like this. Go, it's got to be a painful birth. It's got to be a painful birth. And when you hear it like that, you can't take it seriously, right? No. Do it again and again and again to take away any importance that you'd given that suggestion. Okay, have you made yourself numb yet?
No, not yet. No.
Do you need to?
At the moment I'm okay, but yes, I definitely will need to. I keep trying, but so far it's been a bit busy to be able to actually stop for a second.
Okay, let's you and I practice it now.
Okay.
By getting Michelle to numb her abdomen, she's able to control the pain of the contractions. Next, Paul instills positive suggestions to encourage the birth along.
You and the baby are intimately linked. You're sharing the same body, but soon it'll be time for the baby to come out. I want you to tell the baby, send a message to the baby, that soon it's time to come out, nice and smoothly, and into the world. Okay, Michelle, I look forward to hearing some great news soon. All the best.
Bye.
With Michelle's labour progressing well, her family settle in. But it's early days. Will Paul's technique still be effective when it comes to giving birth? Every morning, Helen West awakes and begins the daily ritual of disguising the effects of a lifelong compulsion.
I wouldn't go out in the morning, or wouldn't go anywhere without covering up with the powder on my hair, because otherwise people might see the bald patches that I have. Quite uncomfortable thinking about the people that can see it, so it'd be even worse if people could actually see that. So,
for over 20 years, Helen has suffered from a condition known as trichotillomania, or trick.
It's a compulsion to pull out your hair from anywhere on your body, basically. Your hair, your eyebrows, your eyelashes.
Trick is very much a personal thing. As far as I'm aware, it's something people will do in private. The last thing I think she'd want to see is anyone in the family to be aware of her actually physically doing it.
With clever use of makeup, she's learned to disguise her condition from others.
I'm using a powder which covers up my bald patches, and it sticks to the hair that I've got there and sort of bulks it out and disguises my scalp so that it doesn't sort of shine out the bald patches. And I do that every morning when I do my hair.
Helen first developed her compulsion as a child, but even at a young age she felt ashamed.
I didn't tell my parents, no. I didn't say anything to them at all. And they even took me to see doctors and things like that, a family doctor and things like that. And I would just say, I don't know why my hair's coming out or fallen out or whatever. I mean, I think they assumed that it was like alopecia maybe or something, and it was falling out. And I never said otherwise. I didn't say, no, I'm pulling it out.
Now, 20 years later, the compulsion is so embedded, Helen's almost unaware when she's doing it.
It's almost like an automatic thing. I don't think about it. My hand will just reach up and pull my hair. If I'm sitting and reading a book maybe, or watching the telly. And that's most of the time that it'll be, I'll be doing something and not realise that I've done it. It's not a conscious thing like I go and say, oh, I'm going to go and pull my hair out now. It doesn't hurt when I pull my hair out. I think my scalp's become desensitised to sort of that anyway, because I've been doing it such a long time. But also I read somewhere that before you actually do it, your brain knows that you're going to pull your hair out and sort of sends sort of endorphins to the area that you're going to pull. It's really weird to explain, but so that the area is sort of numb or numbed.
The only thing I'll see from her with trick, and that is the effect. I'll notice that, if she's brushing her hair or something, you can notice that, obviously see the effect from it.
I don't feel gratification after pulling my hair out. I feel mostly regret for having done that and not being able to stop myself.
Over the years, the hair pulling has developed into a far more dangerous compulsion, which in severe cases can be life-threatening.
I have something called trichophagia, which means that I eat the hair as well. I do know that it's sort of documented that you can get hairballs from it, and it's quite serious. People have to undergo surgery to have the hairballs taken out and things like that. The longest time I've ever not pulled my hair is when I've been pregnant with my children. So, it's not very long. It stops me doing things, not major things, but things like going swimming. And I haven't been to the hairdresser since October last year. Can't remember when it was before that I had my hair cut at a regular hairdresser's. I usually cut my own hair.
Helen's tried and failed to conquer her compulsions, and feels at a loss as to where to turn.
I think each day Trick affects her, and every day that she suffers and lives with the problem, obviously it compounds again each day to make her feel worse and affects her. It just reaffirms any negative feelings she has with herself.
It's been in control of my life for far too long now, and I want to stop.
Helen travels to London to meet Paul, who she believes is her last hope of a cure.
Helen suffers from a disorder called trichotillomania, where she feels compelled to pull her hair out and eat it. Now, that may not seem like a sensible thing to do, but it does something for her. It has a purpose, a function. I believe all dysfunctional behaviours, no matter how bizarre and how illogical they are, they serve a purpose, they get something for us. And I suspect in her case that it's some kind of stress release mechanism. Whatever it is that she's getting from it, I will try and get those good things in other more functional ways. So, for example, if she has somehow used this as a signalling system to tell herself to relax, to distract herself from, her stresses, I'll get that for her in another way. That's what I suspect is going to be the problem. And I don't know for sure yet because I haven't treated her, but that's what I'm banking on it being.
It's something that I haven't actually dealt with. It's something that's I've pushed to the side, really, and not tried to deal with. I see this as the sort of first day of the rest. I know it sounds corny, but the rest of my life, this is going to be it, and I'm going to stop pulling.
Come and have a seat here. So, trichotillomania. Show me now, how do you do it?
I don't know. I've never pulled my hair out in front of anybody before.
Okay, that's all right. Does it hurt?
No.
Then you eat it, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you eat it? Show me how you eat it.
Well, just...
And then you just have a tiny bit of it, do you? Bite a bit off, do you? And you concentrate right in on that little bit of hair. And so nothing else matters at that moment. Okay, yeah. But what we want to do is to make it so that this can't happen automatically anymore. We want to interrupt the program and put a new program in, which means that Helen feels good without this. Yeah, all the good things she's getting from this, the zoning out, the singular focus of attention to the exclusion of all other things, can occur without you having to do that. So what's something that you would be repulsed to eat?
Olives. I hate olives.
You hate olives. We'll start with olives, but I want a real feeling of repulsion. So I'm going to come round here. So I want to be able to touch you on the shoulder. What I'd like you to do is close your eyes and imagine a big plate of olives, and I want you to imagine taking an olive and putting it into your mouth and the texture and the taste of it, and chew it. Chew it now. Go through the motion of it.
Paul's instructing Helen's mind to associate the taste of olives, which she hates, with the action of pulling her hair.
Olive, put it into your mouth, and then have another one. That's it, good. Yes. And it's particularly disgusting olive, this one, because it's actually off. Oh, that's it. It's a really... There you go. And then swallow it down. And stop. Open your eyes, come on, back out. So you feel somewhat repulsed by that, do you not? If I reach over and touch you on the arm, can you remember the feeling? Oh, yeah, stop. There we go. So we'll break state for a moment. All right, so what we're going to do is a very simple technique now, which will interrupt the old pattern and make it so that it can't fire off automatically anymore, yeah? Size.
Paul amplifies these desires so much it becomes overwhelming.
5 times big, so it's a giant hand and a giant bit of hair, yeah? We're going to coat it in olive juice, so it tastes like olive. Bring that hair in, bring it up close. There we go, remember the taste of olive, and push it through you and out the other side.
This results in Helen no longer being able to desire the compulsion. He repeats this process several times.
Now, when you think about eating that hair now, what's the difference?
It's not the same, but I'm not sure.
It's not the same. Can you get any joy going when you're doing it?
No.
Try, though.
I don't even want to.
You don't even want to pull it?
Don't even want to lift my hand up.
Good. What else? Wave of magic wand. Anything else you'd like to change while you're here?
I don't know, I just like to feel better about myself.
Better about yourself?
Yeah.
I'd like you to come and join me here at the mirror. So, when you look in the mirror, do you say lots of nice, kind, encouraging things to yourself?
Not at all.
No. It's just be with yourself. What do you say? Call it out loud?
Just fat.
Fat. You just go fat, do you? Anything else?
Ugly.
Ugly. Fat and ugly. Anything else?
That's about rounds it up, I think.
You go, fat and ugly. There we go. Now, if someone walked up to you in the street and went, fat and ugly, what would you do? Would you go, oh, thanks for that? No, you'd probably tell them to fuck off or something, wouldn't you? And quite right, too. So I'd like you to say inside your mind now, as you look at yourself, in this tone of voice, just say, I accept myself. I accept myself. I accept myself. I'm always good enough. There you go. Very nice. Just keep looking into your eyes. Just be with yourself. Before you didn't like to look at yourself, you kept looking down. I want you to just be happy to be with yourself. There we go. So you can look at yourself now, you go, yeah, it's something I want to change. I might want to lose some weight, but you know, I'm not fat and ugly. That's not the person I see. I see a human being, a unique human being who is. What, your kids look at you and think that?
No, not at all.
They love you. Yeah. So what I want you to do this time is when you look at look into your eyes this time, I want you to send love to yourself. Now, close your eyes for a moment and think of somebody who you know loves and respects you. Float out of your body and step into theirs and look at yourself through their eyes. Look at yourself through the eyes of love. So think about times you felt very loved, and then with that feeling of love in your heart, open your eyes and look at yourself in the mirror. I know, yeah. Big breakthrough you just had there, yeah. Are you okay? Feel sad?
Both.
A bit of both. Okay, let's stop for a second. Just going to take the I had a feeling that might happen. Have a seat. Yeah. You know what just happened? We just popped all of that heavy stuff that you've been saying to yourself for years. You just had a major breakthrough, by the way. Getting you to stop eating a hair is easy. That took about 5 minutes. But I got the feeling you were up for a big life change today. And it's a courageous thing to go that place. And so, how do you feel right now?
I don't know. I feel good.
You feel good?
I do, yeah. I feel sort of relaxed and calm. It's strange, but I feel sort of bright. I don't know what it is.
You look brighter. You look like a burden has lifted. You've got a lightness about you, definitely.
Helen's lifelong compulsion has been cured in less than an hour. Not surprisingly, she's feeling a little stunned.
I got upset when he was asking me to look through the eyes of a loved one and see myself through the eyes of a loved one, and it's getting all teary now, but yeah, it was quite emotional to sort of see it from somebody else's, you know, who you are, somebody that loves you and does unconditionally loves you, and doesn't love you because you have hair or you pull your hair out or whatever. You know, it's really good. I feel good, positive.
I really enjoyed that session because we had a major breakthrough. When somebody sits down in front of me, I ask the question, what does this person need? Doing the hair compulsion took, 5 minutes, and it's really not a big piece of work, that. But when I asked that question, what does Helen need? What does she need? I kept getting that she needs to feel better about herself, that she needs to get happier, and so that's why I kept pushing it and asking her, is there anything else you want? And when she said those things, I thought, right, we got permission to go there. And she had a major breakthrough. She let go of a lot of emotional baggage she'd been carrying for a long time, and she's gotten into a very good place, not just in the feelings that she's having right now, but also in the way that she thinks of herself. So her life is going to get considerably better. This was a major life change. So, you know, yeah, we could have just done the hair pulling, but well, someone's there, why not give them that life makeover in one hit?
1 month later and Helen's life has completely turned around.
Since seeing Paul, things have been going really well, and the pulling has stopped. My hair is now growing back. Obviously it's going to take a while to get any proper length or anything, but it's sort of filled in, the patches are filled in, and yeah.
A trip to the hairdressers would usually be a nightmare for Helen, but for the first time in 20 years she's actually looking forward to an appointment with a top London hairstylist.
Can't you see life's easy?
It is very special to have my hair cut properly, because I don't often have it done, I usually cut it myself.
Paul believes that Helen's makeover will help to reinforce a new positive self-image.
It's lovely.
Good, I'm glad you like it.
Thank you.
The photograph should prove to be a useful reminder of just how far she's come in such a short time.
It's been really good, actually. I feel positive. I feel better about myself. We're looking a bit better as well and having a nice haircut. Hopefully Simon will say wow and like my haircut as well, as much as I do.
Wow. You look gorgeous. Wow. I feel I've got a happier wife now, for her own sake, within herself, which is very important, and I'm really pleased for her. Helen always kept pulling her hair very much personally to herself, but I can see from her personality, her attitude and everything, she's not more happier. My wife looks wonderful.
No, I think I look good. Hair looks brilliant. Really fantastic. I'm very happy, very pleased.
Sometimes when somebody comes to me with one thing, we find out that there are several other things that we can do at the same time. And often you clear up one thing and lots of other things get cleared up as well, because human being is a system. And so you change one aspect, the whole system can change. I think there's a really, really positive, massive life change that's going to happen for Helen.
Coming up, Paul meets Kerry, a former prize-winning horse rider who, following a trauma, can no longer jump. And as Michelle progresses into hard labour, will her resolve to resist pain-killing drugs hold? Horse shows like this one used to be a regular weekend fixture for Kerry Lynch, a former seasoned show jumper, but Kerry hasn't jumped a fence in years.
Dizzy. I'm not riding today because I can't. It's just stupid, really. I don't know why, because I can't get myself over the jumps.
It's a big loss in her life because it is her life. It's what she does. She wants to do show jumping. She did it as a kid. She grew up doing it, and without it really is a big segment of her life and my life, lost.
I don't feel that nervous walking the courses, looking at the jumps and everything. As soon as I get on the horse, I'm just terrified, and I just have a brick wall between me and the jumps, and I can't get over the jump.
2 years ago, Kerry suffered a bad fall at a show jumping event. But it wasn't the fall that triggered her phobia, it was the subsequent treatment.
The consultant sent me for a scan, an MRI scan, and when I went to the hospital for the MRI scan, the nurse said to me, "Are you claustrophobic?" I said, "Well, slightly." So she said, "Okay, put me in the scanner." I had to stay there for 20 minutes. I managed to stay in there for 10. It's like some sort of fear just took over, and I couldn't stop myself from getting out of there. And I just couldn't control it. I couldn't do anything about it.
The scanner just made her realise she was fallible for the first time, and then for some reason she started to get nervous about jumping.
Kerry's mind was now associating show jumping with the claustrophobic experience of the MRI scan. Even the smallest fence now posed an insurmountable hurdle.
And the juniors, they're fearless, and you just wish I wish I could have that fearlessness back again that I had when I was a kid. I know, I mean, with Scarlett, she could go around this course easily. I know I could. but I wouldn't. You sat me on the horse and said I'll pay you £1 million to do it, I wouldn't do it.
Her riding ambitions are now lived through her husband.
Sit up, sit up, sit up. Go up there, get back together, do a circle. Leg, leg, leg. I miss not doing it myself. I mean, it drives me crazy watching. But, you know, I can't tell Luke that too much because I'm helping him and, I don't want to put too much pressure on him, but I'd rather be doing it myself, definitely.
Although unable to jump, horse riding is still an important part of Kerry's life.
I really have to get this sorted because this is my hobby, this is what I do my full-time job for, this is what I've got the loan for the damn lorry for. It's what we do with our life, it's the whole reason that we do everything. Work-wise, we spend all our money on it, we don't go on holidays, we just do everything is to do with the horses. And at the end of the day, it's what I want to do. I can't explain necessarily why I want to do it, I just love it, and it's what I want to do.
Paul leaves London and heads north to meet Kerry at the horse stables.
Phobias are usually a good example of a one-trial learning. You get stuck in one elevator, mistreated by one dentist, bitten by one dog, and then the mind, in order to protect, sets up this massive amount of fear in relation to anything that reminds you of the original incident. It's really what we call an overgeneralization, assuming all dogs, dentists, elevators, or in this case, show jumping, all jumps are the same. And as far as Kerry's concerned, all jumps have got the potential to put her back in hospital, and she wants to stop that happening. Now, she's overprotecting herself. That's all that's taken place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to readjust the thermostat. So, as you're going round right now, if you think about jumping, what happens?
I just won't do it. I just don't want to do it.
You don't want to do it. So you got a feeling that says don't do it, yeah?
Yeah, I just totally. It's almost like I blank out the option.
Kerry, I want you to come up to this jump and show me how far you can get.
I've stopped myself getting too close because I've overshot the corner and missed the jump.
So you get a feeling in your body, don't you, that tells you don't want to do that. You want to stop because you're frightened, yeah? Well,
yeah, and I know as soon as I'm stiff, it's going to go wrong. But I cannot stop myself being stiff.
So where does it begin? Is it?
It's my arms.
It's in your arms, and
my
it
hands,
moves up,
my shoulders.
And it moves up like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
And at the same time, my legs come off here, and they need to be resting on them, and my knees grip, which brings the legs off.
Right. So Scarlett knows not to jump then.
She gets confused because she's not been taught to stop. She knows you're not really supposed to stop.
We're going to change that. Shall we go and cure it then?
Yep, sounds good.
Okay, let's go in.
Paul begins the session by asking Kerry's mind to recode the memory of the show jumping accident.
So, what I'd like you to do is to close your eyes and imagine we're sitting in a cinema, Kerry. Imagine there's a screen in front of you, float out of your body and go to the projection room and look at the back of your head looking down at the screen.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and what I want you to do is to put a black and white movie of the time when you fell off the horse and you suffered the injury on the screen, but I want you to see it from the moment after you know you survived it, and then mark that point, and then go to the moment before it occurred and mark that point. Now, I want you to run that movie backwards at twice speed, or the character's going to move backwards, everything's going to happen backwards, in black and white at twice speed now. That's it, run it backwards really fast. All the characters are moving backwards, everything's happening backwards.
By getting Kerry to run this painful memory backwards, it tricks her mind into thinking it happened to someone else. The experience is recoded in her mind so she can remember what happened, but not feel fear.
You done it? Great. Open your eyes, come on back out. Now, when you think about the accident now, what's the difference?
It feels a bit comical.
Excellent. This is good.
Next, Paul employs an ancient martial arts technique, Aikido. This refocuses attention from the brain to the stomach and thus helps bring emotions under control.
So first of all, let's test in the clear. And oops, there we are. You're up in your head. You're thinking about it all, yeah? Understandably. Put your attention in your tummy. So let's think about, say, something you find very scary, like MRI scan. And on a scale of 1 to 10, where's the fear? 10 the worst, 1 the least.
10.
It's 10. Good. Hold 1 point. Hold 1 point. And that's it. Good. What number is it now?
I'm just looking at it. I don't feel as bad.
Okay. What number is it now?
After a few minutes of holding 1 point, Kerry's fear of the MRI scan falls from 10 to 1.
So you've got it as to 1, have you?
Because I know I'm only looking at it. Yeah.
That's it, good, yeah. Okay, I'm just going to pull one thing at a time, then another, and another, and then boom, collapse the whole lot. Okay, let's have a seat back down. When you think about MRI, it's not as bad.
Yeah, it's definitely less than it was, yeah.
Yeah, great. So the reason I'm asking you to collapse the old fear about the MRI is because it is linked to your fear of jumping. You've created a complex equivalence, which is, one thing equaling another or many things. I don't want to jump because if I jump, I could fall. If I fall, I might have to go on an MRI, and I don't want to do that because I might panic. Blah 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 blah. So you're running all of these potential scenarios that are very unlikely to happen.
Paul finishes by asking Kerry to pinch forefinger and thumb while thinking of previous excellent jumps. This is a quick way to instill positivity and confidence.
So when you think about going and doing some jumps now in the arena, what's the difference?
I feel calmer. I know, I'm getting so that I'd almost be smiling about it.
Yes! That's what we want! What she needs to do now is to do a successful jump. Then she will have an irrefutable experience of success. So a new generalisation has already begun building in the unconscious, and that generalisation is that she can jump. And if she can jump here, she can jump again and again and again, and she can jump other places. She can really enjoy the jumping. All sorts of new beliefs come out of that one experience that's about to happen.
It's been 2 years since Kerry and Scarlett last jumped together. If she gets over this fence, it will represent a huge psychological leap. After just 1 hour of treatment, Paul thinks she's ready to attempt the jump.
And I can see now, I'm checking the state she is in is one of intense focus, confident. She's in the right place to do this jump. She's going to be fine. You've done it! You've done it!
And I didn't even hold on. Normally, last year I would have held on.
Yeah.
That's why we have these here, so you can grab hold of them quickly.
How did it feel?
That's the best jump she's done, ever. She was so relaxed, and she made a nice shape over it, even though it's tiny.
Done.
Yeah, she was going nice.
Now, you've proved to yourself you can do it. Yeah? You've got a very powerful counter experience to what you've been doing in the past. So you're there now. Yeah, well done. Okay. I asked her mind to keep all of the good things that the fear was doing, like protection, but just not overgeneralise it. So if you like, I reset the thermostat of fear so that it isn't triggered so easily, so she's got more ability to go out and enjoy her life without worrying about every possible, terrible scenario that could maybe occur.
So much of it is about a relationship with your horse. And she loved it. I could tell she loved it, and I loved it as well.
To celebrate the breakthrough, Paul cautiously joins Kerry.
So don't aim at jumps, because he will...
Oh, you'll jump? Fucking hell, I wouldn't like that. My fear of horses has only just begun, actually.
Just 1 week after treatment, Kerry enters herself into her first show jumping tournament in 2 years. Her confidence is riding high, but will she be?
It's quite a tough course because you get a good standard of horse here. It's very competitive, but it's perfectly doable for me and Scarlett. And you spend so much money and you spend so much time and effort. It does put a lot of pressure on when you get to a show, because you've got 90 seconds or whatever to make it go right. And that's it. If not, you go home and you come back next week and you try all again.
After 2 years of fear and frustration, Kerry's about to attempt her first competitive show jump.
Now it's number 36 in the ring. This is Kerry Lynn.
After a shaky start, she finds her form, and she's back on the competition circuit.
Good boy, good girl. I was so pleased. I was coming over number 8, and I was turning the corner 9, and I was smiling away, and I was thinking, oh, I'm actually in the class. It's amazing. I've entered it. I spent so long coming and just watching everybody do it, and watching Luke doing it, and driving myself mad, and I was so pleased to be here and actually taking part and everything.
In the same way that the fears had generalised and limited her life and stopped her from doing things because there was potential risk everywhere, it'll now generalise in the opposite direction, so she'll start to see possibilities. She'll become a generally much more confident, capable person.
We will win it before the end of the year, I guarantee it. I put 100 quid on it even, and I'm tight, so I'm so pleased now. Oh, I got it.
Michelle's labour is underway, and she's spoken to Paul on the telephone for a vital final treatment. Now she listens to a hypnotic recording of Paul to control the pain of her contractions.
Imagine the process of numbing yourself in the areas you need to happening easily. Imagine the process of childbirth happening so easily, smoothly.
Amazingly, Michelle has controlled the pain of strong contractions for 5 hours, and her cervix is now fully dilated. It's only now she's ready to push that she begins to show the first signs of real discomfort.
Big push, big push. Down. Lean back in and do one more push. One more push. Come on, push, big push. Keep it coming. Come on. Good.
Minutes later, and Michelle's given birth to a baby girl.
When I had Charlie, I don't remember any of the looking down, seeing everything was a daze, and it was a daze straight away. This is amazing. Oh, hello. It was hard, but my God, that was brilliant. Although I didn't need pain relief, I could feel everything. It felt really quick, actually, even for me. So, I'm so glad it's over, though. So glad. Paul, there's something about him. He just makes you know that you can do things, and that's the main thing that I think I used in the labour. Really, even if it was painful, it was fine. I could do it. What's it called? I think Scarlet. Are you Scarlet?
Can I do that for you take after Daddy?
Not too painful for you, though?
No, I got through it, okay. It's shocked to see the little girl instead of the little boy.
Right, if I leave you there, I'll go that way.
Baby Scarlett is a healthy 8 pounds, and Michelle's grateful that Paul helped her achieve a drug-free birth.
I didn't ask for any drugs. I never once said, actually, I think I would like something. I knew that I could get through it. Even when it was sore, I knew that I'd be okay. So I'm sure it helped, definitely.
It's been an amazing night, and Paul's treatments helped tremendously. While partner Michael's exhausted, Michelle's calm and captivated by her beautiful baby daughter. Next week, can Dee be cured of her chronic fear of motorways?
And all of a sudden this terrible panic comes over you and your heart starts to race.
Can Paul combat Lynette's stage fright?
You're so nervous that you can't even begin to think.
And will Sandra overcome her cleaning obsession?
I mean, I love my family, but I sometimes think my cleaning is more important than them.